Stangibelisco here. I just had a very interesting experience. I had a hunch about a computer. It's a Windows 10 computer. In fact, it's the one I'm doing this video on. It's always in airplane mode so that it supposedly will never issue me any of those nagware items, but one of them somehow got through that. I think it was on New Year's Day. It must have been something that Windows 10 is just programmed to do. You know, every so often just issue this warning whether you need it or not, right? Another little bit of nagware from Windows 10. Boo! Anyway, I was seeing a strange phenomenon. My battery always seemed partially charged. I don't do much on this computer, and it's always plugged in. And I checked, and it always said battery so many percent not charging, even though the charging cable was plugged in. I did a cold boot, that is, shut it down and started the computer back up. I pulled and put the power plug back in and out and in and out. Never any results. Finally, what I did was I shut the computer completely down, disconnected all of the cables from it so I could pick it up physically. I took it into the kitchen and laid it down on a placemat upside down, and I pulled the battery out of the thing physically. And in order to do that, I had to do a little prying with a table knife. That's why now don't force. I did not force. I just did a little gentle prying. It's been so long since that battery's been out of there. So I figured what that might do is get rid of any electrostatic, pardon me, residual electrostatic charge that could be hanging up one of the integrated circuits and causing a sort of a malfunction when there really was none. Or maybe it was a bad connection that just needed to be pulled and pulled once, and it was attached to the battery. So I mean, the thing would run off the battery, but it wouldn't recharge the battery. So what I finally did is that little trick. I took it out and lifted it out for a minute or two and then snapped it back in physically. And then carefully I picked up that little nagging piece of hardware, or programmed with that little nagging piece of operating system, that little piece of poo-poo called Windows 10. And I put it back, plugged the cables back in, propped it up according to the support that I use, you know, the physical slant and support and everything, set it all back up again and started it up again. And sure enough, the battery symbol was now going up and down and up and down and up and down instead of staying still. And the light next to it was still orange, but it said 65% remaining, or 30 minutes till full charge. Battery plugged in, charging. And so I left it at that. I shut the computer down and did a few things for the day and came back and just now tested it. It is about 5 o'clock p.m. Mountain Standard Time in the black holes of Dakota Territory, United States of advanced battery technology. And I checked that out, and sure enough, it's 100% fully charged. All I had to do was give that thing a good, cold, hard swipe upside of the head. In a manner of speaking, of course. Computers don't have heads. And if they did, sometimes with this operating system, I feel like I'd chop the bloody thing off. I'd take the guillotine that I have down in the basement, and I'd give it the treatment. Bah! Windows 10. Bah! Humbug. Anyway, this can happen, I think, with any machine. You ever have that experience where you just kicked the dagnab thing, or you pulled the plug and plugged it back in, or switched the breaker off and then switched it on again and everything worked fine? That's been happening, and that kind of thing's been happening for decades. People just forget. Sometimes, if all else fails, just throw a good cold slap of ice in the face to that cotton picking machine. And who knows, it might just come to. Mine did. Have you ever experienced a similar thing? Comments are open at my peril. Stan Jabalisco signing off. Until next time, so long.